Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the HipHop Minded Professional, where I speak to people with a hip hop background who might still be doing hip hop or doing something else. And today I'm speaking with Mr. You got to introduce yourself, brother.
Rob Howze, man. Rob Howze. And if you want to know how to pronounce the last name, it's like, how's it going? How's life? That's me. And honestly, that's me my whole life. How's life? How's your life, man? How you living? How can I help you? It's kind of how we get it done.
So, 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 how is your life? What are the things you do currently?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father, husband, taking care of the home life, family life, building up these
Yeah.
young kings and queens, getting them ready for the world, but first ready for school, you know what I'm saying? And then, I'm an empowerment artist and a humologist. These are new terms, 21st century has given birth to some new ideas. We
Mm-hmm.
are new people. And so an empowerment artist, if you think about the word empowerment, that's anyone that's trying to like beat an addiction, build a business,
Yeah.
find themselves. They got to find the power from within to do it. That's what empowerment is. Sometimes you can
Yeah.
read a book, watch a video, or sometimes a person can lead you. So my whole life has been about that. So I'm an empowerment artist because I'm an artist first. So empowering is my craft. And then the humologist is a combination of humology and technology. Humanity and technology, which is humology. Humology is
Uh-huh.
humans and technology. It's interesting. I thought I made the word up, but I didn't. And it came out some years back. But the way they were using it is not quite how I use it. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
about humans and technology, but mine is how are we interacting with it? Like how are we utilizing it?
Ah.
2020 has served us the opportunity to know how we living with it. So I'm here to
And
help with that too.
and so this is the stuff you're doing now. I mean, I'm hearing some wordplay in there, some creativity. What is your hip hop background?
So let's see. I wrote my first rap song at age 12, right? So I got a song I wrote when I was 16 called "At the Age of 12 I Wanted to Be a Rap Star." And son, I only remember, like, it's so weird. Every now and then I remember some of the lyrics. It was like,
Uh huh.
at the age of 12 I wanted to be a rap star, but I didn't have the rap stats to get my act far. The years went on. Now the age was 15. That's when I rode and smoked my first Billy Bean. Uh, uh, I had I had clout and I had a little swagger, throwing rhymes like hooks like Marvin Hagler. That was kind of, it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
That was dope 20 years ago. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
know, but it's like hip hop, man. For me, music is life. It's been like my therapy. And so I was doing music, like I said, since 12, but my whole life, just listening and growing. Hip hop was born in 73 and I was born in 74. So we was right, what I'm saying? We were like this.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah. Yeah.
I come. It's meant to be.
So you were let's say you were the direct younger sibling.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, so you did let's say the MCing. Did you also do like breaking or DJing or graffiti?
Breaking, not necessarily scratching. I tried it. I wasn't good. I was disappointed that I wasn't good. I didn't understand why I wasn't good at that. I was like, I should have been good at that. I didn't give it enough time. It's one of the things you had to like give time. And I was so used to just doing whatever. I could see something and literally do it. That's how
Yeah,
my whole life's been. I could scratch it one like that. Like, nah, you gotta you gotta feel that.
you
But
gotta you gotta put in the work.
I put in the work, man. You can't just put this one off. So yeah, all that. But graffiti, I didn't do it, but loved it. All my boys did it. The cardboard box, drop it down. Spin on your hand, on your back. Yeah, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, and if you look at what all you did back then, how does it help you in the things that you do now actually?
Well, everything that I do is I have music intertwined in it somehow. Like even now as an empowerment artist, right? So I empower people and companies and organizations and initiatives, and I write songs for different programs. And my songs are for them, but
Mm-hmm.
inspiring. So I get to use my craft, empower people, while also giving them something of value. You know, I preached for like 10 years. And so I did holy hip hop, and that's how I used it. And I used that to reach the young people, because the young people, they're like, yeah, I'm not listening to you or anybody. But you drop some bars on them, they're like, oh, wait a minute, okay. And then I also come, the good thing about life for me was, I grew up in the hood and the suburbs. So you get the hood and the suburbs. I mean, come on, I kind of can think, in both lanes. So I
Yeah.
understand, the dynamics of a lot of different scenarios. So the familiarity and the authenticity also helped me, to be able to connect with them. So the music, the knowledge, the experience, it played a role in me empowering people, man.
Ah, nice, 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 nice. So okay, you use it. Let's say use it in companies. You're empowering people. Now, I just heard also you also, yeah, you also had your own. Let's say you were preaching also. How 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 did all of things? How did you roll into all of those different type, but yet the same roles?
you know, my life has always been about empowering like people, like for some degree. I just like it. I like being the reason why somebody wins, or a percentage of the cause of why something happens that's positive. Like I like that, right? So my whole life, I've been involved in that. Then when I turned 30, my wife and I, we were we're struggling a little bit, and we were going to either get divorced or go to church. You know what I'm saying? We're like, we're gonna get this. We're gonna either go see, somebody, or we're gonna go see somebody. So we went to go see somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
by doing that, it just started cultivating something inside me. I was like, whoa! So whatever this feeling is that I felt to help me get over what I was going through, I want to get in. So I went. I studied. I studied theology, man. I studied the Bible. I studied, even as of late, I've studied the lost books. There's 45 books that weren't included in the original text, but it's all good. It's like it's still information. So, I got involved in the ministry, and it was just fantastic. You travel around, you get a chance to speak, uplift people, inspire. Folks will come to me literally on their death bed, but they're walking, but they're on their deathbed.
yeah, yeah.
And it's not me, but something that comes through me lifts them. Dude, what? I don't care. That's better than anything. I'm like, okay, I want that. I saw somebody do it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, catching a touchdown pass, one hand, slam dunk in West Great. No, I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You feel me? I want to do that because that's impactful. That impacts the person, which impacts the family, which impacts the community, which impacts the world.
Yep.
It's a
The
ripple.
butterfly effect.
That's
Yeah,
it.
the ripple effect. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the ripple, right? What what kind of ripple did let's say your touch, let me say the hip hop touch in you, what kind of ripple did it bring in from within you and actually the rest of your current career, your current life path?
You know, this is something about when a person is open. When a person is open, they are their truest self. They are their best self. They are at their highest capacity of health. They have optimized all the potentiality and strength, perspective when you are at your truest self. And so music helps people get to that point.
Yeah.
For me, it was the thing that allowed me to find me. Like I could be nervous, but give me the microphone. I'm not nervous. Like I could be in a room full of people I don't know. Give me the mic. I'm good. It's like, and then the beat comes on music. It's almost like, oh, we just got into something. We just got, and whatever you start to, and there's actually things that are happening biochemically within you. There's neurotransmitters that are firing off these neurochemicals, ladies and gentlemen, that are actually producing well-being within your body and finding these cells that are trying to kill you, getting rid of them and regenerating yourself. It is fascinating when you find yourself and when you
Yeah.
find something. So like hip hop for me has been like a catalyst for me finding myself. That's pretty dope. I never actually said that like that. So appreciate you asking that question.
Hey, that's what it's all about, bringing about the new insights,
Yeah.
from a different perspective that you know it's there, but you don't, it's in your subconscious to bring it out, consciously. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. And
Subconscious, man. That's big. I've
and
studied
like
that too for the last 10 years.
and like what I mean, what made, let's say, hip hop your genre? I mean, it could have also been something totally different. I'm not gonna say rock because that's like it could have been rock. It could have also been jazz. But like
Yeah.
how what made hip hop your thing?
Hip hop is funky. It's the funkiest music out of all the genres. I know we got a lot of great genres, and that's really saying it, but they're the originator because there's a lot of cool ones now, a lot of cool ones. But hip hop is the originator of the cool. It's the originator of the cool. Rock is great. Rock just ran the world. I mean, everyone was there. They loved it, rock and roll. And it's kind of what
Yeah,
music
yeah.
was. Here comes hip hop. Like, what is this weird thing? What is this? And all of a sudden, wait a minute. The suburban kids are liking it. Wait a minute. Mom and dad are liking it. They don't want to say they like it. Wait a minute. Whoa. And it does something to you. And that's me. Like, it's like I'm different. It's like I got a different groove, a different vibe, and at the same time, it's inviting to all.
Yeah, 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 yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and let's say, there's a different groove. It's inviting to all. If you look at like the growth that hip hop has worldwide,
Mhm.
how does that inspire you and your mission actually to empower people?
Yeah, but it's really interesting because for a while, did you know? I think hip hop now it just passed rock as the number one genre of listening to music, which is fascinating. If you think about the people who made it, where the culture came from, and the
Mm-hmm.
amount of people that are actually here, that culture was so thick, so strong, it's spread. And I think what that says is that it is for all. It's universal, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and just imagine if we thought that way. Universal. When I say universal, I mean like open,
yeah.
for all. Come as you are. Imagine if we led our country that way. You
Mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
our families, our businesses. If we led it with that universal open mindset, man, then we'd be dropping some jams.
Some gems. So, but from like your perspective, I mean, you did everything you do is like about the empowerment of people. That's all I ever hear. Okay, how do you speak about, hey, how did you get, on let's say the preaching front? That was also about, hey, the power of empowering people. Well, you're an empowerment coach now, and just the whole everything about empowering and also bringing, let's say, the openness together.
Mhm.
And then, are you already currently, let's say, in the mind frame of, you know being the open guy, as in, open family, open business, so just like the openness and creating unity in, you know everyone you touch.
Mhm. That's it. That's it. Unity with everyone that I touch, interact with. That's exactly, you said it. If you think about that word unity, it's, look at the word community, right? And the word like unity is like in there.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting how, like, and I didn't make this up. It's like it's just there. It's the word. It's kind of like community, unity. That means you need unity. It's a necessity to have community. Something like God too, like good. Look at the word good. Like whether you're religious or whatever you are following, you've heard of God,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
7.7 billion people. At least 6.6 billion say there is one somewhere somehow. Look at the word good. Take one O out. It's like, come on, man. So God is good because it's together. Some things just come together. And so like a unity and community, we need it, man. And it sounds corny to a lot of people, but you rather have unity than division. Unity would bring us justice instantly.
Instantly, yeah.
It would even be unity would stop my cousin from being nervous when going to an all-white grocery store during this election time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unity has an interesting power to it. Unity will actually keep you from stepping out on your wife because she's not giving you the attention that you deserve, and rightfully she's not giving the attention you deserve. But unity will keep you from stepping out on her because unity will allow you to then spend more time with her. And by spending the time with her, you discover the things you need to do together.
Yeah, yeah,
Unify.
yeah.
Come on, somebody. You better.
Yeah, yeah.
You better. You hear the preacher coming out. You better tell somebody. But it's facts, though, baby. You know, I mean, ancient wisdom and modern science and practical tips from today. Ancient wisdom. And wow, I gotta write that joint down.
We're gonna make a snippet out of it, especially for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And speaking of the ancient wisdom and the science, that is what you're also doing with the humology. Yeah, explain a little bit more about the humology. How does it work? You know, what if someone hears it, and what are the key takeaways they can take away from the way you use the word, or let's say practice it?
Yes. So I want you to think of, that's great question, man. I want you to think about humology. It's real simple. Humans and technology. How do we use it? Right? We are now in what's called the digital era.
Yeah.
Right? It has happened. Like 2020 has thrusted upon us. How are you using technology to enhance your life? Do you understand technology? There was a time when you could pick up a computer or not. You had a choice.
Yeah.
There's the choice is over. As a matter of fact, the train of technology is moving so fast. Society, evolution is moving so quick. You have to get connected to understanding how to use certain technologies to communicate, like Zoom or whatever else you need to do. And for businesses, we help them. Essentially, you got people who come to work and they got a certain thing they have to do every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's killing their brain, killing their life. So our company, basically, all that robotic stuff, we have a robot do it. And then those people can go do something that they can use their mind, more proactive, more forward thinking, sales, marketing, networking, something using their critical mind, you know? And so, and they can bring more value to the company and to themselves. So interesting, but that's technology.
Yeah.
Companies don't know about it. But once they find out about it, it's like, oh, okay. So you can do it on that macro level, or you can do it on the micro level. Like, for example, how are you scheduling your life? Like, are you just getting up and going to sleep? Don't do that. You know, have a schedule for what you're doing. That's actually a technology. Technology is just a scientific way of applying something. So a methodology. The first methods of technology was rocks or sticks and fire. We're using something to create something, to enhance. And so with a schedule, you have to know what you're doing before the day comes. If you have that digitized, it will help you be more effective with that day that is gonna come. Perfectly.
Yeah.
You feel me? So my thing with Humology is educating people, you know, from the micro to the macro. We got clients, Fortune, we got big boys, right?
Yeah.
We got people just help them understand how to use their cell phone. Okay. Just so it depends on where I am.
You go from here to there. It's let's say all sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
And like I've seen some of your stuff. I mean, you're let's say an active, inspiring guy, and you know you do things in your own way. How do let's say all those companies react to the way you do things? You know, it's you really have your own flair of doing things the way how you do it.
Yeah, you know, that's good, man. I'm sure that, you know, because there's a variety of perspectives, you know, there's been some pros and cons based off, you know, people's perception of me. But what it comes down to is value. Like, does this Joker know what he's talking about? Does he know? Do I know something? You know,
Yeah,
does he
yeah,
have something? Because if I have
yeah.
something, then you're gonna just come to me. Like, for example, if Gary Vee didn't drop nuggets, he couldn't curse like
Mm-hmm.
that. He couldn't be
Yeah,
that
yeah,
open. He couldn't. But that dude dropped more nuggets than anybody I know. Like, he predicted more things than the predictors. You feel me?
yeah,
So
yeah,
he has the floor. So yeah, he's going to be judged and from people's perspective. So yeah, I'm sure, but you know, the value is just too high because I care too much. Like, I'm not here to get your money. You're going to pay me once I show you what's been happening. And sometimes
yeah,
you're not even paying me money. You're just paying attention more to what I'm doing. You know, but you're going to pay something. You always do when you get value. You know, it's like you want to.
yeah,
When I
yeah.
get value from somebody, I feel indebted to somehow contribute back. That's the normal human thing. So yeah.
And if and then I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take you back a little bit, way back in time. How how did your first, let's say, hip hop performance feel?
What was the first performance? In front of people or in front of family? The first
Ooh.
official one probably wasn't until Howard. Yep. For the Goody Mob. I think that was the first one. That was the first real one. Oh yeah. So open for Goody Mob. And Method Man was in town too at Howard University, 1996, 7, 8, somewhere in there, somewhere in his pocket. Puffy had just left too. He was there. Shy was there. Shy was at Howard. Shy and Puffy were both just there, and I came the year after. Man, it was amazing. I realized on the stage with the mic what this was really all about. Like, powerful. It was too much, man. I was too young to really do that right. I didn't do that right. I didn't do that right. I mean, I did it like any kid would do, basically. You know, teenager, like 19 or whatever, 18, something like that. It was amazing, man. It was too much power though. You know, it's like I didn't have humility classes, and like I didn't get that. So important. Like, I'm so glad I get to teach my son stuff, and he got to see me in different programs and mentoring all these
Mm-hmm,
young
mm-hmm.
boys and stuff. So I'm glad he got to see, because I didn't have that humility. That's the one thing I was missing. Yeah, I had a little bit of it, but not. The cat was loose. You feel me? I had it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cat was on, but it was loose. He spill it. Yeah.
And if and that feeling, let's say the feeling of that, let's say, that performance. Have you ever also had that feeling? I'm gonna call it in your professional life.
What's really interesting is I had that feeling every day, just about.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Just about, not every day. Because I've been working on mastering the art of visioneering.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so, studying neuroscience, what you come to find out is that every experience you have in actual world, when you have an experience, for example, I grab this microphone and I speak into it, there's certain wirings that is going to happen. You can measure it in my mind. You can see it
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
when it's firing. If I do that, if I just think about doing that, those exact same wirings are going to happen. So it's like you
Yep.
can do an activity or think about an activity and you're still writing it into your memory. So that means you sit with it long enough and then start to practice things like, heart and mind coherence with
Mm-hmm.
that visioneering. Good gracious. So now you begin to accelerate. And so, yeah, you get to experience that thing like it is actually here. And that's what we call, well, not we, but that's what's called, mind sight. You have eyesight,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got mind sight. Eyesight can see what's here, what's right in front of them, what's practical. And mind sight is, listen, it's as deep as you want to go and deeper than you know.
And then if you grab that mindset that you have now, do you see a link, or if you look back, did you also have a certain type of mindset way way back when let's say you started picking up that pen and that pad, or you started grabbing the microphone and you were on stage. It could be even in front of family, because family is usually that's even scarier than strangers. Did you have that mindset then already in some type of shape or form?
I think, for sure I did. Not obviously not to the degree that a 40 something, 46-year-old guy will have right now. But I also got the gift, man. I got a gift, that accelerated my awareness. I got shot, when I was younger, and we got robbed. Literally came out of a store. My boy's name is Rob. I'm Rob. We got robbed. Isn't that crazy? It's like that joint is funny, but not really. Oh yeah, I have
No,
Rob on my
I mean,
arm too. It's weird, right? Oh, check that out. There, right there. There's the bullet holes, huh? That's right there. Wow. I didn't plan this. So you got a hole there and hole there. This is tremendous story, though. Tremendous, right? And this is like, it was a gift from God to me. No one would ever say, gun at your head goes off is a freaking blessing. So let me tell you how. Came out the store. My boy Rob's in the car, driver's seat. I'm getting ready to get in the passenger seat, but there's somebody like, standing outside of the passenger seat, looking in the window. I'm like, oh, okay, somebody from the neighborhood.
yeah,
I come
yeah,
over.
yeah.
He got a gun. He says, get in the car. So I come over. He turns to me, says, get in the car. So I'm like, okay, get in. He says, give me your rings and your wallet. Because back then, we wore rings on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Took all the rings off. So he gets in. He's sitting in the passenger seat. Rob's in the driver's seat. I'm in like the middle, just crunched in. And this dude's like, he's talking about the gun. It's like, it's real. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see the bullets? It's real. Rob was like saying something like it's not real. I don't know what he was saying. I just wanted him to stop saying whatever he was saying. But he wanted to keep saying more, man.
Yeah,
he wanted
yeah,
to say
yeah.
more. Now, he didn't only want to say more. He wanted to grab the gun. So Rob took the 40 bottle, hit the gunman over the head, bottle, bounce on the freaking windowsill. It's going slow motion. It's going slow motion at this time. Okay. I'm like, oh man, like it's such a small fraction of time. Rob grabs the gun. God is here again because the guy has the gun. Rob has it. All he has to do is go off. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It doesn't go off. But the guy does have a grip on the gun because he has the handle. He gets it, steps outside the car, leans in. Okay, so he shoots 3 times. Me and Rob just do this before the Matrix came out.
For the listeners, he just did, let's say, the Matrix famous Keanu scene sitting in a chair. Just for the ones who are only listening to it, that you can visualize at the moment what's happening and visualize it as it would be 2 guys sitting in a car trying to pull off a Matrix,
Yeah,
dodging a bullet from the side.
exactly. And so we did dodge 2 bullets, but one caught us. It went in here. It came right out of my arm, went into Rob's leg, staying in his leg to the day because it went so far. Surgery couldn't get it out. That's not even the most miraculous part of the story, man. I get home after the hospital. I'm all stitched up. By the way, the bullet didn't do anything. It didn't rip a muscle, didn't tear a bone. Somehow it goes in and comes out. Doctor's amazed. He's like, I don't understand. I said, either. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know either. But he did it. I get home, take my jersey off. Barry Sanders' jersey is bloody. I see 5 holes coming across the front, diagonal from the top shoulder down. I'm like, why is there a hole in my shirt? Then I looked at it and I realized that the hole started from my arm. So what happened in the car when the gunman shot, we went back. The bullet went through my arm, through my shirt, just missing my chest cavity by those millis, whatever that mathematical equation is, going through my shirt, missing. I'm like, so I remember holding the shirt and I was stuck. I think I held the shirt for like 6 days. Mom was like, come down for breakfast. Come down for dinner. Come. No, I was there forever. Like, man. But that was my first encounter with God. Because in that moment, I knew something was going on. Because not only had I been shot at point blank range and got away, but the bullet did nothing. It really should have did something. And I was driving around the streets of Buffalo, New York with cops following me, and I'm speeding around because I'm looking for my other friend that I thought the gunman shot in the head. Because when he shot at us, I saw my friend come out the store. The gunman turned and shot at him. And I remember Steve's
Ah,
head doing that. I'm like, oh, so after I dropped Rob off at the hospital, I went look around the streets looking for Steve. And I told the cops what was going on. They would just follow me. They were like, okay. It was like they understood. Man, it was just working out for me, man. So that was a really interesting scenario. So my awareness, my man, has been skyrocketed because of this.
yeah, yeah. And
Those
of,
who I'm
of course,
telling you,
of course, the as the psychology behind it is, of course, there is always a psychology behind, let's say, a near death experience, because that is what it is. When you're sitting there, you're like, oh, this is gonna be it. You know, you have the slow motion that kicks in, and then as soon as that kicks in, your brain it starts to work different.
yeah.
You know, it's gonna rewire itself. It's survival mode. So, and it's not something that you can undo. I mean,
Right.
it's you said earlier you grew up suburbia, but also in the hood. So it's you that survival instinct and mechanism that actually has to stay there, because it's gonna be like, okay, wait a minute, and you probably also had it like, okay, I just did what I do regularly. We go to the store, come out of the store, hop in the car, go where we gotta go. This is the regular old day routine, and then your regular day routine just gets shaken up. That is not the regular day routine anymore.
Yeah.
So, and when you go to do the regular day routine, your brain, your mind is still gonna be like, wait a minute, wait a minute. I gotta pay
Oh
attention. I gotta pay
man,
attention because this can happen again.
this man, you are that's major. That's major. And you're right. And there's pros and cons to that, you know, because I mean, I've had tremendous pros. There's three other near deaths that I've gotten away from because of that acute
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
awareness. But there's also the overthinking. You know, it can be detrimental. It's like a scalpel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can actually get in there and like save the life because it's able to get that vein and put that heart and that valve together. Like the scalpel is perfect, or it can cut your throat.
And if you go into the overthinking, we go hold the overthinking, hold the overthinking. When you were active as an MC, were you good in freestyling? And then I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah,
I'm talking about like really freestyling. You just someone chose a word and you just go.
yeah,
Were you?
pretty much. There's a time where I wasn't that good. I would
Mm-hmm,
say like the people these days, I'm not messing with them cats these days. Like straight up, like I'll have to practice that style. Like when I watch that style, I'm super good. Like where they just talk and there's no beat coming on, and they go from the top of their head, and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
but that's a certain style. If I practice that, I can do it. But freestyling, just word for word, and just throw a word out there and I can freestyle. That's been like probably forever. Yeah.
So if you take that, and then you look at your overthinking. When you're busy with that, you let go the overthinking piece.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in in a way, the more you do that, the less you overthink. Or is it that you say like, oh, well, I don't know, it hasn't helped me much with the overthinking.
Hmm.
How do you look at that theory, let's say?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. And honestly, if you are overthinking, your freestyle is gonna suck because you're gonna mess up. But if you
Mm-hmm.
stay in the flow, and then that's how you grow. That's how you're in the know. When you actually relax
Mm-hmm.
and you practice this state of relaxation, that's a real easy way to keep yourself away from frustration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a real good way to keep your mind in elevation. That's a real good way to keep positive situations, you know? So you can talk about it. And right now I'm feeling free.
Yeah,
Free is
yeah.
with me. Free as Harriet T in slavery. Take a stand like Rosa P. You feel me? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
this shirt, 1 million healthy. I was thinking about this shirt. I wanted to say it like 1 billion healthy. I think about 1 billion healthy people, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, spiritually, or mentally, physically, and soulfully. However you want to categorize the thing you don't know that's there that's keeping you alive.
Yeah,
1
yeah,
billion healthy. And I just thinking to myself, if we had 1 billion healthy folks, if they just told one other person, that's what? 2 billion healthy. I'm open, man. I'm open for that. You feel me?
yep,
The
yep.
concepts I got has to be an open mind. The things I'm talking about, like my life's ultimate mission purpose that I know of right now,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
is you got to be open minded for that because it sounds crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, and how did you develop your open mind?
Throwing myself in situations, and also I think moving around so much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I live with my grandmother, I live with my mom, I live with my dad. I went to 4 different high schools. It's only 4 years in high school, man. But I went to 4 different high schools. I enjoyed all of it, but it's so many different experiences. And because I was able to hang out blacks, whites, races on both sides, smart, maybe not so smart, wealthy, poor, gay, straight, in between. Like, I mean, because I was in musical theater, so I mean, everything. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about everything, but I'm me in all those scenarios. I'm the same
yeah.
person. I may kind of like, adjust with, in the scenarios that I want to adjust in, right?
Mm-hmm,
I'll
mm-hmm.
do that adjustment, but me. But I notice people don't do that. They can't. It's hard. Majority, like, they feel like they got to be something that someone else says they should be. They're always trying to be something that some for something else. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
not the route. That ain't the route to take. That's
yeah,
not.
yeah. And let's say so far, being you has been working for you.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's also good for like people to hear, like, people, the youths, everyone, to actually hear sometimes, like, being yourself and being your unique you is is actually the best thing that you can do. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's the easiest. It
Mm.
should be the easiest thing to do. It should be. It's
Right.
not always the easiest thing, but it is, the thing that helps you out, at least that you stay at least mentally, you know, let's call it mentally fit, mentally in balance.
Mm-hmm.
And if I when I see the things that you do, you're just in you're comfortable in your own space, and when you see someone that's comfortable in their own space, you're like, wait a minute, hey, I I maybe I could do that too, and just
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's gonna work for me also.
That's it, man. That's it. That is it. That's the empowerment right there. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
maybe I got that. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead and get it.
Exactly. And if you look at, if you would give people, let's say, four tips or four advices in life, what would your four tips be?
Love yourself. Love
Mm-hmm.
other people. Self-reflect. Have humility. So self-reflection. So love yourself and love other people. Man, come on. I mean, loving yourself. You got to start there. You can't. If your cup is empty, nobody's drinking, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're dry. People coming to you. You can't get them what they need. So now you feel even drier. You can't add value nowhere because you're not filled up. But if you love yourself, meaning look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, start being grateful for the things you have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest route to loving yourself. Be grateful for whatever you have, for whatever it is. Viktor Frankl, who was in the Nazi camp, man, this guy's an author, and he was actually a victim, but he was a survivor. And his mindset inside of that camp, he was saying that other people were just falling apart, and their lives were over like instantly because they thought it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now nobody wants to be in a concentration camp, but if you're going to be in there, he was like having a positive mindset. He was thinking about the future. He was thinking about how grateful he was just to be alive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was grateful about the potential of the future, and then he got out. And not only did he get out, but he wrote about it and he inspired millions. But find a way to love yourself. Love yourself. Get around people who love themselves. Read books, watch tutorials. You type in Google how to love myself. You will get the best tutorials, PDFs, and YouTube clippings that will help you accelerate yourself. There's no excuse. So love yourself and then love other people. Loving other people is big. Because once we get this together, now you got to give it out. You gotta give out the value.
Yeah.
It's just like, our purpose on this earth is to give value. You didn't come here. Just imagine if everything was here for itself, we wouldn't be able to sustain. So by you loving other folks, being there for other folks, showing up, whatever that is, maybe it's financial support, maybe it's just emotional support, maybe it's connecting them with a certain relationship. Who knows? Maybe it's just giving them some love on social media, but love people, right? And then reflecting. The reflection is important because the day happens so fast. You get up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, do some work, play with the kids, do an activity, watch TV, get ready to go to sleep, get up, brush your teeth, breakfast, play with the kids. Before you know it, like weeks have gone by and you don't even really know what's been happening, and now these certain things are happening in your life and you're like, what the heck? Why are you? Who's this? I don't know. No, you just weren't aware because you weren't awake because you were sleeping. But if you self-reflect every day, every single day, I'd actually do it multiple times a day. It takes this much time. Done. Yeah. So I'm reflecting on my experiences now. Sometimes it takes longer than that. Like an experience with my wife, I had to reflect on it. And I kind of elevated my speech. I was right in my elevation. It wasn't too much, but I elevated it. But then I was like, wait a minute. I elevated, but then after I listened again to what she said, I elevated the wrong place. Like it wasn't no need of elevation. I actually should have suppressed to listen more. I knew I was right in that moment. But by reflecting, meaning just breathing, just taking a day and just listening to my thoughts, I had a chance to reflect on that. So I went back there and actually apologized. I was right, but I was wrong in the way I handled it.
Yeah.
So case closed. So then you got the self-reflection. What was I doing? Humility? I do humility? Okay, because
humility was number 4.
Humility can be one, I always have this. This is something, sometime when we close this big deal, I'm going to actually get a slice of humble pie and I'm going to give them out free. So I'm going to order basically people can order them and all they got to do is pay shipping. I'm going to ship them out. So it's a little slice of humble, it says humble pie. It's a little slice. You can put it on your keychain. You can put it on your jeans. You can put it on your wherever your pocket. You can put it in your purse. Leave it in the car. Slice of humble pie hanging on your on the mirror on the
of the car.
Because this slice of humble pie, it will save your marriage, save your job, save your freaking life. It will save you. Humility is something because the ego is necessary. We need the ego. The ego is what tells you you are who you are and you believe in yourself. You better believe in yourself. You couldn't do the great things you did without having ego. But that joker gets inflamed and it gets big and it actually swallows you up and everyone else around you. And no one knows what the heck happened. But humility, a little slice of humble pie, you feed it to the ego monster and he comes down like he's tamed, the tamed ego, you know what I mean? Ego down, ego, my ego, his just coming down like this a little bit and he's shrinking, slice of humble pie. You just keep it because it's that humility that allowed me to see I was wrong with my wife. I wouldn't have known that if I was, I know this because I got the entrance because I've studied this and I'm the one, blah, blah, blah. No, listen, chill with that for a minute. Get a slice, put this slice in. Sometimes I wish I could just throw a slice in people's mouths real quick. When they're talking, just wait a minute. Just turn away.
Like popcorn in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And if you look at let's say the 4 lessons you just gave, Which one of are there lessons that you learned during your let's say your hip hop career? And if they are, which one of the four are they?
Self-reflection. Well, yeah, all of them, but humility is probably the one I learned the most. When I'll say stood out the most because in the rap game, I was getting ready to get signed. I had a real good opportunity to get signed to Luther Campbell's record label. What was that? Two Live. It wasn't Two Live Crew, but it was it was Luther Campbell. It was him. And so and he was traveling. He was in DC. I was at Howard. Had my group. I had my limousine. Had a manager. Had dancers in the car. Had my tape. My tape. Yes, tape. Tape was playing. Yeah. We were in there. Had the drinks. And I felt disgusting. It was just like, because everything was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody was on that. Everybody was on that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just so inflamed. I was just like, it was fun because it was fun, but then I was so detached from it. So I'm getting signed this label. I'm getting to go perform on stage with this guy. And this was like, let me tell you this round, do the round, he was popping then, right? So I'm getting on stage and actually perform. I don't know. I don't know. Before you know it, another one of those divine interventions. This one was first though, or second. This was the second actually. And then club done, over, performance over, shut down. Everybody gotta leave. I think somebody fought, a fight happened or something. Whole club shut down. Never got to meet him. The manager paid all his money for limousine, all these girls and all this stuff, and I could see him just like everything was just like shh. I mean, at the end of the night, I was looking like, wow. I'm so glad that didn't happen. And that changed the trajectory for what I was rapping about. It actually started changing my lyrics, and my mindset took a shift because I got a chance to experience in that moment. Like I was going to get signed. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to happen because I was going to rock that freaking show.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was probably going to be dead in like 2 years, dead or in jail or drugged out, because that's what was happening, folks. Because their ego was so big. The humility allowed me to be able to just stop chasing the impulse, stop thinking with the head or wherever else I'm thinking with, stop. And that little thing, what I call now the power pause, it allows you to stop. Boom. 5 seconds into the nose, 5 seconds out. Reset the nervous system. Boom. Okay, here we go. So I do that now to get to that, but that moment gave birth to what I believe was my introduction to Humility 101.
All right. I'm looking at the time, and you almost have a next meeting to go to. But for everyone who wants to find you, where can they find Rob Howze?
LinkedIn. Come on down. It is a place to be. It's a great community of people. Everybody I know right now who I'm doing business with that matters on a macro level is on LinkedIn. That's where you want to find me. I do have music too. You go to robhousemusic.com. But I'm also, man, this is big news here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also the #1 Rob Howze on Google. Come on now. Number one, man. Number one.
Hey.
Me and my man Robert Howze from Atlanta, we go. He's trying to come up on it, but I got this one, man. I was on Google first. I got
him. So from all the Rob Howze, you're currently the #1 Rob Howze on Google. So if you Google Rob Howze, you're gonna find Rob Howze. Make sure check him out on LinkedIn. He's also findable there. Check out his music. Rob, man, thank you very much for being on the show, sharing your energy, and then also sharing, the different things you're busy with, the visions that you have. Thank you very much.
That's what I appreciate.
Well, Ladies and gentlemen, that was Rob Howze. Tune in to the next episode. I have no idea who my guest is going to be. I'm going to surprise you again. And I would say have a nice day. Have a good evening. Don't know what time of the day it is, but make sure you enjoy it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the HipHop Minded Professional. Make sure to subscribe at your favorite streaming platform so that you don't miss the next episode. And make sure to visit hiphopculturecoaching.com for more information on how hip hop helps your mindset.